Hey, what is going on everybody? Today I will be going over the worst tier 100 battle pass skins in Fortnite. So recently I went over the best tier 100 battle pass skins in Fortnite. So now I will be doing the opposite and going over the worst tier 100 battle pass skins according to the Fortnite community. So if you happen to enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like on the video. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, make sure to use my supporter creator code MJB7 in the Fortnite item shop. And with that out of the way, let's get right into this video. Alrighty guys, so there's so many great tier 100 battle pass skins in Fortnite, so I decided to make this video based on Fortnite community votes. So let's get right into this. So getting into the first skin here, which is Kaido Thorn. Now Kaido Thorn was released in chapter 4 season 4, and he has a 72% approval rating from the Fortnite community, which is actually a pretty good rating. And this pretty much shows how consistent Fortnite has been at making good tier 100 skins. Just because Kaido Thorn is on this list does not necessarily mean he is a bad skin. It just means a lot of players prefer the other tier 100 battle pass skins over him, and this is actually a skin I do like myself. I think there's a lot of good variety and customization with Kaido Thorn, and a lot of the main criticisms I've seen with this skin is that some players don't like all of his designs on some of his styles, such as the base style for example. But besides that, not many players really dislike this skin. They just prefer a lot of the other tier 100 skins over him, and I also do like this skin a lot. Like I said, I like a lot of his styles, especially the style that pretty much turns him into a vampire. But with a 72% approval rating from the Fortnite community, that does get him on this worst skins list. But moving on to the next skin, which is Ragnarok. Now this will probably make some people mad that he is on this list, but he does have a 72% approval rating from the Fortnite community, slightly lower than Kaido Thorn, and Ragnarok was also released from chapter 1 season 5. Now while I think Ragnarok is actually a pretty great skin, I have seen some complaints with Ragnarok, which is probably what got him a lower rating than most tier 100 skins. Now the complaints I've seen were with his base style, for it being a little bit bland, and I've also seen some complaints with his final styles, that he is too bulky, he's not slim enough, which is why some players wouldn't want to use his skin. I do think those are some fair criticisms. Obviously, if I'm using Ragnarok, I'm definitely not using his base style, and his later styles are a little bit bulky, but not really that bulky compared to some other skins. And even though he is a little bulky, I still use Ragnarok to this day. I am a pretty big fan of his skin. However, I can understand some of these criticisms, which is why he may be a little bit lower rated than most tier 100 skins. But moving on to the next skin, which is Doctor Strange. Now Doctor Strange was released in chapter 3 season 2, and he does have a 71% approval rating from the Fortnite community. And while I do think this is a pretty great representation of Doctor Strange, I can understand some of the complaints I've seen with this skin. I've seen many players say that he lacks variety and he should have many more styles and customization. And I've also seen some players say that he shouldn't be the tier 100 skin because he is a Marvel character, and I've also seen players say that his cape is way too big and it should have just been a back bling. And I do think some of these complaints are fair. I think they could have added more styles for Doctor Strange, especially if he's going to be the tier 100 skin. And I'd also say his cape is a little bit big, and I would have preferred it to be a back bling, but I still think it's overall a good representation of Doctor Strange. And I also think the styles he does have actually look pretty cool on him, but I can understand why some players would consider him to be one of the worst tier 100 battle pass skins. But moving on to the next skin, I have Lux. Now Lux was released in chapter 1 season 8. Now Lux does have a 70% approval rating from the Fortnite community. Now I have seen several complaints with Lux, some of those complaints being that the design of her styles are pretty bland, there's not enough variety with each style, there probably could have been more styles. And I've also seen many players say that Lux doesn't really seem like she should be the tier 100 skin, and I do think those complaints are pretty fair overall. I definitely think there could have been more variety with this skin. If Fortnite was going to put her at tier 100, they could have added more styles within this skin, and I also think she probably shouldn't be the tier 100 skin, especially when you have Hybrid and Blackheart both being tier 1 skins in this battle pass. I think both of those skins probably would have been better tier 100 skins. Now don't get me wrong, I still think Lux is a good skin. I just think she probably should have been a lower tier and not the last skin in this battle pass. So I can definitely see why many players would consider her one of the worst tier 100 skins in Fortnite. But moving on to the next skin, I have Eternal Night. Now Eternal Night was released in Chapter 2 Season 3, and she has a 67% approval rating from the Fortnite community. But the main complaints I've seen of Eternal Night is that she doesn't have enough good styles, and many players don't like certain designs of the skin, such as her helmet and some of the armor she has. Now personally, I do think she could have used more styles. I think they could have done something similar with Ultima Night, where they could have given Eternal Night an origin style, which would essentially look like the Red Knight skin. But I overall do like the design of this skin. I think it looks pretty cool overall. Her armor looks pretty nice, but I can see why some players would say she is one of the worst tier 100 skins. So moving on to the next skin, which is Spire Assassin. Now Spire Assassin was released in Chapter 2 Season 6, and she has a 64% approval rating from the Fortnite community. Now the main criticisms I've seen with Spire Assassin are that some players don't like her character design, and players saying that she should have way more customization and variety. And I do think those are some fair complaints from the Fortnite community. I think she could definitely have some more customization with her skin, and I can also understand some players not really liking her design. It's definitely a skin that's not going to appeal to every player, so I can understand why some players would consider her to be one of the worst tier 100 skins. But moving on to the final skin of this video, which is Vendetta. Now I'm super disappointed to see him having the worst approval rating of 63%, because if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I absolutely love Vendetta. He's one of my favorite battle pass skins in general, but regardless, Vendetta was released in Chapter 1 Season 9, and the complaints I've seen about this skin are that his base style is pretty bland, which is understandable. If I'm using Vendetta, it's typically any of the styles where he has his mask on, especially the final style where he has all his armor and the mask and the cool flames coming out of his shoulders. And some players have also said that his skin is a little bit too bulky with all the armor on, which I can kind of see, but I still think the armor just looks really sick on him, so it doesn't bother me too much. So I'm definitely disappointed that he did make this list, because I really like how customizable this skin really is, and I just think he looks really cool overall. But I can understand why some players would consider him to be one of the worst tier 100 battle pass skins. But anyways guys, that is going to do it for this video, so thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to comment down below what you guys think are the worst tier 100 battle pass skins, and let me know if you guys do agree with the Fortnite community. But if you did happen to enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.